you joining us, Claudia? Cecilia Franco.
Miss Franco.
Where have you been, Paul? I've been waiting for since 9.
I've been waiting since 8:30. This is my first Zoom jail plea, so.
Oh, okay. Well, since you've been waiting so long, that just makes you not very smart.
Exactly.
Okay.
I've realized
All right.
that. Hi,
Ms. Ms. Franco,
Hey.
if you raise your right hand and be sworn. Go ahead and raise your right hand and be sworn. It's the other one. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes.
Is your true name Cecilia Franco?
Yes.
And you understand you have, I think, 5 cases pending.
Mm-hmm.
And you and your attorney have y'all had enough time to go over each of these cases?
Yes.
And do you understand we're doing this plea electronically and your attorney is online with us right now?
Yes.
Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm.
All right. To the to each of these charges, the theft charge, evading arrest, failure to ID, and 2 other theft charges, to each of these charges, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Accept
Well,
your
no.
plea guilty. Well, they want either guilty or not guilty.
Okay, guilty.
All right. Accept plead guilty in each case. Find you guilty in each case. You'll be sentenced to 80 days in jail in each case. You'll get at least 50 days back time in each case. The cases will run concurrent, so you only have to do the 50 day or the 80 days one time. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about anything?
No.
All right. Do you have anything else, Paul?
No, sir.
All right. Good luck. You'll get out of jail in a few, probably about another month. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Judge.
See you later. And then we have Gabriel K. Is that Mitos? If you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Is your true name Gabriel Joseph K?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand you're charged in this case with criminal trespass of a habitation or a shelter or a super fund or something
Yes.
else? And have you had enough time to go over this case with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
And it looks like, do you understand your attorney's online with us right now and we're doing this plea electronically?
Yes, sir.
Are you okay doing the plea electronically?
Yes, sir.
All right. And it looks like you and your attorney have worked out a plea agreement where you're going to do 12 days in jail, but you've already done 19 days. So you have 19 days back time, so your jail time is done as of right now. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
The extra 7 days will take care of any court costs. You'll be done with this case as of right now. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. To the charge of criminal trespass of someplace, how do you plead?
Guilty.
I accept your plea guilty. Find you guilty. Sentence you to 12 days in jail. You'll get credit for 19 days. Like I said, the extra 7 days will take care of any court costs. You'll be time served as of right now. Okay.
All right.
Do you have any questions about anything?
So just as soon as paperwork is finished, then I'm out of here then?
As long as there's nothing else holding you, yeah.
Okay. Appreciate
Okay.
that.
All
No
right.
further questions.
Good luck. Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. See ya.
Thank you.
The seat right over there for me, okay?
Kirk. Can we have Kirk? I gotta find everybody. We need Jennifer. We need Joseph Hill. We need Street. Okay. What's her other charge? I have one that shows her use of a vehicle. Showed her other charges.
Yes, she also has a, hang on one second.
Because we're paperless, we can only see one at a time.
Is this Kirk?
Yes.
Debit
I think
card.
it's credit card abuse.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. And did you want to call your client to testify?
I do, Your Honor.
If you would, Ms. Kirk, raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
And let me make sure I have a copy of the mental health assessment. Yeah,
Judge, I believe the MHAs should have come from Kim Bennett since
Yeah,
Tony.
I got it. I have it. All right, I'm going to consider the mental health assessment. And you can go ahead and call your client.
Okay, thank you, Judge. Please state your name.
Connie Kirk.
And you have 2 charges pending out of Collin County, credit card abuse and unauthorized use of a motor vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
And you also have a charge out of Dallas County as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, are you currently on any medication?
Yes, ma'am.
What medication are you prescribed?
Ramaron.
Okay.
It's for depression and anxiety and for nightmares.
Do you have any other medications beyond that?
No, ma'am.
Are you receiving that medication in jail here in Collin County?
Yes, ma'am.
And you and I spoke on Monday, and you had, or were supposed to have an intake interview with the Freeman Sober Living House in Richard.
ma'am.
Did you have that?
No, ma'am.
Not yet.
No, not yet. I have spoken to my father though.
And you will be able to go live with your dad, Kenneth Kirk, if you're released.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And he lives in Irving.
Yes, ma'am.
Will he be able to assist you getting to and from court and making court appearances with this judge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're released on this mental health bond that you're going to first have to deal with the Dallas County case, either bond out or be taken to Dallas County, correct?
Yes.
And then once you're released, you'll have to appear every month in front of Judge Baxter while you're on bond on this case.
Yes, ma'am.
And your dad can take you to court for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have a current mental health provider?
Just MHMR.
Okay. Will you be able to get an appointment with them once you get released?
Yes, ma'am.
I'll pass the witness.
Any questions from the state?
Yes,
No,
Your
sir.
Honor.
Oh.
Hi, Ms. Kirk. My name's Kate Harrison. I'm a prosecutor for the Collin County DA's office. So it sounds like if you were released on a PR bond, you would go live with your dad, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you mind me asking, what does your father do for a living?
He got permanently hired doing make readies for apartment complexes. He makes them ready doing like the repair work and stuff in them.
Okay, what's his day-to-day work schedule look like?
He works from 7:30 in the morning until 5:30 at night, and then he comes home.
Is that every day?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Does anyone live with your father? Would anybody else be in the home?
My sister,
And how old's your sister?
she's 11 years older than me, so she's 45.
Okay. And is she gonna be available to help get you to and from appointments or check-ins with the court as well?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do either your father or your sister have any drug use issues, substance abuse issues?
No, they don't.
Okay. If your dad's at work, what does your sister do? Is she going to be working an 8 to 5?
She's actively searching for work.
Okay. And you do have a phone that you can use?
Yes, ma'am.
And your sister and your father, they have vehicles where they can drive you if you need to be driven somewhere?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Pass the witness.
Anything else from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
You rest.
I rest, Your Honor.
Anything else from the state?
We have no exhibits, Your Honor, but I would like to read in her criminal history.
Okay.
On November 19th of 2015, the defendant was arrested for possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. She was placed on deferred adjudication probation. On February 5th of 2016, she was placed on 3 years of deferred adjudication probation. That probation, she was ultimately adjudicated on January 4th of 2016, was finally convicted and put on 18 months probation is what it looks like. On November 4th, 2016, the defendant was arrested again for possession of a controlled substance in penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. She was convicted and sentenced to 90 days jail for the offense. On December 3rd of 2019, the defendant was arrested for fraudulently destroying or removing, concealing a price tag, and the range was greater than $100, less than $750. It appears that that is the Dallas case still pending, and that concludes the defendant's criminal history.
You rest.
State rests.
Do you have any argument?
No, sir.
Does the state have any argument?
Your Honor, we'll defer to the court on this, but given her drug use, we would ask that she be placed on random urine analysis or have to submit to random urine analysis and report to NA 2 times a week.
Okay. They all are randomly UA.
Okay.
But I'm going to grant you bonds, get you out of jail. I think you'll have to take care of the Dallas hold first before you'll be free.
Okay.
What we have you do is you'll come see me once a month. When you come see me, expect to be drug tested, okay?
Yes, sir.
And if you have anything in your system that's not supposed to be in your system, you understand what happened. You wind up back in jail, okay?
Yes, sir.
If you can get into the sober living situation, that's probably what you need right now. So I'd keep working on that. And I would say you can work with Tony, but Tony's out for a while. So Joseph's going to help you with what you have to do. You're going to have to call into the office every week and let them know how you're doing.
Yes,
While
sir.
you're in jail in Dallas, you won't have to do that, obviously. But as soon as you get out of Dallas, start calling them and let them know how you're doing. There's going to be a folder in your possessions when you get out of jail here, okay? If you
Okay.
lose that folder, don't just ignore it. You need to let someone know you don't have the numbers, but we need you checking
Yes.
in, okay?
Yes, sir.
Did you want to talk to her, Joseph? I don't know if Tony told you what she normally does.
Yes. Hi, Ms. Kirk. I'm Joseph Hill. I'll be putting a folder in your property that has the information you need. It will have Tony Fox's card in it. It'll have her number. So as soon as you can, you'll want to call that number. If it goes to voicemail, just leave a voicemail with your name, who you are, and why you're calling. She'll call you back. Aside from that, that's all I have.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
I actually do have a quick question.
Yes.
That MHMR that you mentioned, which MHMR do you use?
I would be over there in Irving somewhere, or Dallas County.
Metro Care.
Metro Care.
Yes, Metro Code. Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck. We'll see you here in
Thank you.
about a month or so, okay?
Okay,
Make
thank
sure
you, sir.
call in every week when you get out.
Yes, sir.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
See you later.
Thank you.
We need So we need Walling. We've been doing this without you. Guess we can't find Kyle. Thought he was there. He was. Might have pushed the wrong button. There he is. All right. We still don't have you, Claudia.
Morning, Judge.
Yeah, there we go. How are you? All right. This
Doing
is
good.
Victoria Wallen, is that right? And
Yes, Your Honor.
if you would raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do have a copy of the mental health assessment. I'll consider that for the purpose of this hearing. Did you want to call your client?
I do, Judge. Ms. Wallen, you and I spoke last week about your case, right?
Yes, sir.
And I discussed the possibility of mental health bond. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's why we're here today. We're asking Judge Baxter to grant you a bond. Can you tell him a little bit about your mental health history as far as a diagnosis?
My mental health history goes far back, all the way back to being 5 years old. My mom never wanted to deal with the kids, so she took me to doctors to drug me up. And there were a few of the diagnoses that were actually like legitimate diagnoses, but the vast majority of them were not. The main ones that were legitimate were the ADHD, OCD, bipolar A1, manic depressive swings, and reactive attachment disorder, as well as social anxiety.
Okay. And while you were growing up, were you prescribed medications for those disorders?
Yes, I was put on almost everything you can think of, at least once, if not 5 times.
Okay. And how long has it been since you've taken any kind of medication for those diagnoses?
Since I was 17 and I'm 27 now, so 10 years, I believe. I've been intending to get back on one of the medications, but it's been rough lately.
Okay. So you've essentially just kind of tried to get by on your own as far as dealing with the conditions?
Attempting to. For the most part, I seem to do okay, but that's just okay, not good or better or great. So that's why I was seeking out.
Do you believe that seeing a professional that may prescribe medications for you could benefit you in that regard?
Yes, sir.
And if you're granted a mental health bond, you'll have to go to LifePath most likely and see a professional there. They'll very likely prescribe medication to you.
Yes, sir.
If they do, that will become a condition of this bond that you take that medication as directed. Are you willing to do that?
Yes, sir.
It'll also be a condition of the bond that you attend all those appointments with them as directed. Are you willing to do that as well?
Yes, sir.
And are you willing to report to the court as directed?
Yes, sir.
Now, as far as your plans, if you're released, you do plan to stay in Collin County, correct?
Yes, for the duration of the court proceedings till it's finalized, yes.
Okay. Now you're originally from Nebraska, is that correct?
Yes, sir. Born and raised.
All right. And your plan right before your arrest was to relocate up in that area, right?
To Iowa, yes, sir. Nothing was
Iowa.
working in Texas, so I was trying to move up there for a better job opportunity in a cheaper living area. So, and then I got stuck.
So while your longer term plan may be to go up there, you do intend to stay in Collin County as long as this case is pending.
Yes, sir.
And where will you stay?
If I got the bond, where would I stay?
Yes, ma'am.
The Samaritan Inn, I believe, is what it's called. There have been a couple inmates and a couple of guards when I first got here that told me that that's a close-ish to the courthouse, so it might be easier to be there. And then people there might be able to point me in the direction of Life Path.
All right. And would you have transportation if you're staying at the Samaritan Inn to and from any appointments, court dates, bond check-ins, that type of thing?
If my own 2 feet can't do it, then I have an acquaintance that I made. She just got out herself here. That she said she'd be willing to help me with transportation.
Okay. And if she fell through, would you be able to Uber or something like that?
Probably, since I do intend to get a job to be able to get an apartment should this take more than a couple months.
Okay. I'll pass the witness.
Does the state have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Hi, Ms. Wallen. My name is Kate Harrison. I'm a prosecutor for the Collin County DA's office. I have a couple of questions. Do you have any kind of support system, any family in Texas?
Not in Texas, no. That was another one of the main reasons I was on my way out. There was nothing here for me, so I was gonna leave.
Okay, and it sounds like, so you don't have family, but you do have that acquaintance that you met in the Collin County jail?
Yes, ma'am.
What was she charged with?
I believe it was some kind of paraphernalia charge. I'm not fully sure. I didn't ask. It's not my business. But I think she's currently on probation for that charge. Probation. I don't know if it's deferred probation, but I know it's probation.
Do you know where she lives?
I believe she said here in McKinney.
Okay. And have you, do you know the process for getting into the Samaritan Inn? Have you contacted the inn or anything like that?
No, I do not have any time on my my phone. I don't have any money on my books or anything like that. And I also don't have their phone number. So I was just kind of gonna go up there and be like, hey, this is my situation. That's all I've ever done when it comes to shelters, and it never fails me. So
Okay. Pass the witness.
Anything else?
Ms. Wallen, if the court tells you that, grants you the bond, but tells you they don't want you to have any contact with this acquaintance, do you feel like you could adequately make it to any appointments you have without her assistance?
oh yeah, if I don't have transportation, I know I'll Google Maps how far it is to whatever appointments I have, and I'll hoof it. I don't care.
I'll pass the witness.
Anything else from the state?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Does the defense rest?
Judge, I'll call Joseph Hill briefly.
Okay. If you would, raise your right hand and be sworn. You swear or affirm testimony about to give me the truth, the whole truth, that's what true stuff you got.
I do.
All right.
Mr. Hill, you've met with Ms. Wallen, is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And did you discuss the Samaritan Inn as a housing option for her?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Have you done any checking to see whether she qualifies or what the likelihood is she might be able to get in there?
Yes, the current qualifications of being clean for 30 days, no drugs or anything like that, and her current charge isn't anything drug related. She also said that she hadn't been doing any of that, along with the fact that they don't want you to have any violent or sexual charge history, which she stated she did not have that here in Texas. And she said any background checks she's had in Texas have not come back with those on it. So those are the requirements for the Samaritan Inn. So as long as she's been truthful, the Samaritan Inn should accept her. She also has a state ID for property she stated is there.
So no red flags that might hinder her getting in there.
Correct, as long as she's been honest.
I'll pass a witness.
Any questions?
Yes. Hi, Mr. Hill. What about out-of-state violent history? Does the Samaritan Inn look into that?
To my knowledge, they just do a background check.
Okay. Nothing further from the state.
Anything else from the defense?
We'll rest in closure.
Okay. Does it say anything else?
We'd like to read in the defendant's criminal history.
Okay.
This is her only charge out of Texas, the current UUMV. However, she does have history out of Iowa and Nebraska, starting with Iowa. On December 26th of 2017, the defendant was arrested for possession of drug paraphernalia. The outcome of that was a misdemeanor conviction, and I showed that she had to pay a fine of $100. Past that, I don't have any other sentence information. On July 7th of 2018, she was arrested for domestic abuse assault. I show that that was a misdemeanor conviction. She had to pay a fine, and the way it's written is jail, 2 days within 60 days. I don't know if that's how they enter probation, but it does show a conviction with 2 days jail, and she had to complete a 6-month program. So that was from July of 2018. Then in Nebraska, on October 16th of 2011, she was arrested for simple assault. The disposition on that case was guilty by conviction. The judgment was entered on October 17th of 2011. Unfortunately, I don't see the sentence. I show that she had to pay court costs and a fine on that. On October 21st of 2011, the defendant was arrested for robbery, accessory to a Class 2 felony, theft, unlawful taking, and false reporting. It looks like she was sentenced to prison for 1 year with court costs on the theft case and the false reporting case. Those are both misdemeanors. On March 2nd of 2016, the defendant was arrested for simple assault, misdemeanor, and disturbing the peace. That assault ultimately was changed to assault 3rd degree / misdemeanor, and she was found guilty by conviction and sentenced to 90 days jail for that offense. On April 20th of 2016, she was arrested for failure to appear on a misdemeanor. I have no court data on that. On November 11th of 2016, she was arrested for a probation violation on a misdemeanor. I have no further court data. July 31st of 2017, she was arrested for misdemeanor possession of a controlled substance, attempt of a Class 4 felony. And I don't have any court information on that. And that concludes the reading of the defendant's criminal history.
Anything else?
State rests.
Any argument? Any argument from the state?
Judge, we are going to oppose this defendant being granted a PR bond due to her violent history out of both Nebraska and Iowa, one of which was relatively recent in 2018. Also, in the mental health assessment, I see that there were at least 3 previous suicide attempts, I think, between both of these. She's shown that she is a danger either to herself or to others if released. Also, during this hearing, I don't think there is a very solid plan in place. While I do appreciate that she wants to go to the Samaritan Inn, it doesn't sound like the transportation is there. I understand she's willing to walk, but I think she has no support system. She said there's nothing here in Texas for me, and her only acquaintance is someone she met in the jail on a drug charge, potentially a drug charge. So for those reasons, we are going to oppose.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem I have too, is that I don't think Samaritan is the best place to deal with charges like this. With no one around, it's not a good plan. So I am going to deny bond at this time. Probably the best way to get this thing resolved is just resolve the whole case and so you can get on your way to Iowa or Nebraska or wherever you want to live. So your attorney will try and rush the case along and get you out of here as fast as we can, okay? Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
See you later.